We're counting down the 12 essential items every smart rider packs for long-haul trips. The gear that separates a legendary ride from a $500 tow bill or a day lost to mental fatigue. From physical survival hacks to gear-saving tools and financial backup plans, these aren't the basics. They're the expert-approved solutions that most riders only learn about after disaster strikes. Each entry in this ranking is a proven fix for the hidden problems that ruin real rides, from body breakdowns to gear failures and tech blackouts. So, what tops the list? And what's the critical piece nearly everyone forgets? Let's start with number 12. Number 12. A remote communication device is the last line of defense when everything else fails. Out on the loneliest stretches, cell service disappears, and a crash or breakdown can leave you invisible to the world. Search and rescue logs are full of cases where a satellite messenger or personal locator beacon meant the difference between a multi-day ordeal and a same-day rescue. PLBs are one-button distress signals, registered with national authorities, and designed for pure emergencies. No texting, just a location and a call for help. Satellite messengers, like the Garmin InReach, go further. Two-way texting lets you update your status, coordinate with responders, or reassure family. When time matters, that back and forth can shave hours off a rescue. Battery life is mission critical. Look for 120 hours minimum in standby, and always check charge before departure. The SMART protocol is simple. Set a mandatory check-in time with someone back home, share your expected route, and make it non-negotiable. If you miss your window, they know when and where to start the search. It's a device you hope to never use, but the moment you need it, nothing else matters. Number 11. Emergency cash buffer isn't just a throwback to the days before credit cards. Out on the highway, financial systems can fail faster than your bike. There's the story of a Montana rider who broke down 60 miles from the nearest town. His credit card, flagged for suspicious travel, was frozen. The tow driver wanted $700, cash only. No cash, no tow, and no way out until someone wired money hours later. That's not rare. Tow bills in remote stretches often run $500 to $700, and rural gas stations or repair shops may refuse cards or lack service. Even if you plan for every scenario, a single card freeze or network outage can end your trip in an instant. The solution is simple. Keep emergency cash separate from your daily wallet, stashed deep in your luggage or jacket liner. Never touch it except for true emergencies. It's the difference between a bad day and a trip-ending disaster. Number 10. Gorilla tape and heavy-duty zip ties are the unsung heroes of roadside survival. When a pannier mount snaps or a fairing cracks on a remote stretch, the difference between limping to safety and waiting hours for a tow often comes down to a strip of tape and a handful of thick zip ties. Expedition riders document field repairs that hold for hundreds of miles, splinting broken levers, reattaching dangling luggage, even patching torn boots. Strength to weight, nothing in your kit does more. A roll of Gorilla tape and a dozen 8-inch zip ties weigh less than 150 grams combined. The real trick is knowing two basic knots, square and clove hitch, so you can reinforce a splint or lash a part that tape alone can't secure. Pack these in an outer pocket, not buried deep, and check your supply before every trip. It's not glamorous, but when your gear fails, this kit keeps you moving until you reach real help. Number 9. Offline navigation backup is what separates a minor inconvenience from a full-blown disaster when technology fails. Every rider has heard the GPS loop nightmare. You're deep in logging country, the app reroutes you again and again, always back to that same closed road. Hours lost, fuel wasted, daylight slipping away. Paper maps and handwritten route cards are the only navigation that can't crash, lose signal, or run out of battery. The act of writing out your route, mile markers, fuel stops, detour notes, locks the plan into your mind and forces you to spot hazards before you ever leave the driveway. Unlike a phone screen, A folded map works in pouring rain, dead zones, and even total device failure. Studies from adventure forums show that app-based navigation fails in remote areas as often as one trip in 5. A physical backup means you're always moving forward, never circling back, no matter what your electronics decide to do. Number 8. Sudden visor fog is the fastest way to lose control at highway speed. Riders call it the visor blackout. One moment you're clear, the next, a wall of white. At 65 miles an hour, that's panic. Fog forms when there's a temperature swing of just 10 degrees Celsius between your breath and the outside air. Moisture condenses instantly, and your vision drops to zero. A $30 pin lock insert or a bottle of anti-fog spray is the difference between a smooth ride and a blind emergency stop. Pin lock works by trapping a thin pocket of air between layers, breaking the dew point and keeping your visor clear. Anti-fog sprays coat the surface, buying you time when conditions turn. But nothing is foolproof. If you feel your visor starting to cloud over, crack it open a few millimeters. That quick blast of air can equalize the temperature and save your ride. Fog doesn't warn you. The smart rider never leaves home without a backup, because clear vision is non-negotiable. Number 7. A high-strength emergency patch kit is the line between a minor annoyance and a major disaster on a long-haul ride. Textile tears start small, a snag from a fence, a brush with a sharp pannier edge, but under wind load at highway speeds, that rip can triple in size within a single hour. Once a jacket sleeve or soft bag splits, rain and grit pour in, gear spills out, and your insulation is gone. The Smart Fix is a patch kit built around 2 essentials: a roll of high-strength tape, like Tenacious Tape or Gear Aid, and a tube of fast-curing fabric glue. Combined, they weigh less than 100 grams and fit in a palm-sized pouch. Tape bridges gaps instantly, while glue bonds fibers for a longer-lasting seal, even in wet or cold conditions, though cure times double below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Reinforcing with ripstop mesh, if included, adds another layer of defense. Packing discipline matters just as much. Heaviest items go low and forward in your luggage, closest to the bike's center of gravity. This simple rule cuts the risk of shifting loads, tearing your bags from the inside out. Riders who ignore small tears often pay with a ruined trip. The patch kit is cheap, light, and, when the wind starts pulling, absolutely non-negotiable. Number 6. Zipper and seal lubricant is the $10 fix that prevents a 3-hour soaking. There's the story of a rider caught in a mountain hailstorm. Jacket zipper jammed solid by grit. No way to seal up, rain pouring in, and by the time help arrived, he was soaked to the bone and shivering. Grit and vibration are silent killers. Over 60% of zipper jams on riding gear start with dust and road debris working their way into the teeth. A 10-gram wax stick or a small bottle of silicone spray weighs almost nothing but lasts an entire season. Wax coats the zipper, repelling grit and restoring smooth action, while silicone is better for rubber helmet seals and waterproof closures. Both are safe for DWR finishes, unlike oil-based sprays that can break down waterproof membranes and void your gear's warranty. The smart move is to check and lubricate your main jacket zipper before every trip. Run the stick along the teeth, flex the slider a few times, and wipe away excess. That 5-minute routine is the difference between a jacket that keeps you dry and a $700 Gore-Tex shell that fails when you need it most. Tiny, cheap, but absolutely essential for gear that's supposed to protect you. Number 5. Technical fabric cleaner is the single most overlooked tool for protecting expensive riding gear. Household detergents might get mud and sweat out, but they also strip away up to 70% of the DWR, durable water repellent, coating in just one wash. That means your waterproof jacket or pants can lose their seal before the end of your first big trip, turning a $700 Gore-Tex shell into a cold, soggy liability. Manufacturers back this up. Improper cleaning is a leading cause of denied warranty claims, with thousands of jackets and suits written off every year due to membrane failure traced directly to regular soap. The science is simple. Technical cleaners are engineered to preserve the chemical bond between the DWR and the fabric, avoiding the surfactants and residues that plug up the membrane's pores. A single 40-gram pod or travel bottle is all it takes to wash a full set of gear on the road. The protocol is strict. Hand wash or gentle cycle only, never use a dryer. Air dry every time to protect the membrane. For about the price of a roadside burger, you extend the life of your waterproofs by years. Keep your insulation working and avoid the slow spiral from damp discomfort to full-blown hypothermia. Smart riders never risk gear failure to save a few ounces or dollars. Number 4. Saddle pain isn't just a nuisance on a long ride. It's the silent thief of focus and control after mile 300. Pressure mapping studies of motorcycle saddles show that as the hours stack up, blood flow drops in key spots, and reaction time can slow by as much as 18% when discomfort turns to pain. That's the moment mistakes creep in. A missed shift, a delayed brake, a wobble in the wind. Smart riders carry a small, dense seat pad or an inflatable cushion, tucked away until the warning signs begin. Burning, numbness, or the telltale urge to stand on the pegs every few miles. These pads weigh almost nothing, but the relief is immediate. They spread pressure, absorb shocks, and buy you the extra hours needed to reach your next stop safely. There's a hard rule among veterans: never debut a brand new seat, jacket, or gloves on a long trip. Every piece of gear should see at least 500 local miles before it earns a place on a cross-country run. The right pad isn't about luxury. It's a last resort fix that keeps you riding when your body says quit. Ignore this at your own risk. The difference between finishing strong and limping home is often a $30 foam cushion. Number 3. Anti-vibration comfort layers are the unglamorous fix that keeps your hands on the controls and your head in the game. Hours of engine buzz and bar shake do more than annoy. They press nerves flat, slow your reaction, and threaten your grip on the clutch or brake at the worst possible moment. It's not just a feeling. In EMG studies, nerve latency in the hands rises by as much as 25% after 4 hours of continuous riding without vibration damping. That's the difference between a crisp stop and a locked wheel. The classic scare. A rider cruising through Nebraska, hour 7, realizes he can't feel his left pinky or the edge of his palm. He reaches for the clutch, but his fingers barely respond. A split second of panic that could have ended in a crash. The solution is a specialty gel pad or a pair of thin compression gloves, engineered to absorb micro vibrations and distribute pressure away from the nerves running through your palms and fingers. But gear alone isn't enough. The smart protocol is the peg dance. Every 10 minutes, consciously relax your grip, wiggle your fingers, and shift your weight on the pegs to keep blood moving. It feels silly at first, but it's the reason iron butt veterans finish strong while others fade out. Ignore the warning signs: tingling, numbness, creeping weakness, and you risk losing the fine control that separates a safe ride from a sudden wreck. On a long-haul trip, the comfort layer isn't luxury. It's insurance against the day your hands stop listening. Number 2. Highway hypnosis doesn't wait for fatigue to build. It strikes fast, sometimes just 20 minutes after you settle into a long, straight stretch. That's when your eyes are open, your hands are on the bars, but your mind drifts and reaction time plummets. Caffeine gum and sublingual strips are the tactical answer for these moments. A rapid onset alertness tool that works in minutes, not half an hour like coffee. The science is clear. When you chew caffeine gum or dissolve a strip under your tongue, the caffeine enters your bloodstream through the mouth's mucous membranes. Effects start in 5 to 10 minutes, peaking before you're back on the road. Coffee and energy drinks, by contrast, need to be digested first. 30 minutes minimum before you feel the lift, and they're a liability on short stops. For riders following the 45-15 protocol, 45 minutes riding, 15 minutes off, these fast-acting forms let you reset your brain during the break, not after. Each piece delivers about 50 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. enough to sharpen focus for 2 to 3 hours. But there's a ceiling. The maximum safe intake is 400 milligrams per day for healthy adults. Go beyond that, and you risk heart palpitations, anxiety, and a crash in alertness that's worse than where you started. Never combine multiple forms at once, and never use caffeine as a substitute for real rest. Smart riders treat these as a tactical tool, not a crutch. One dose at a mandated break when you feel your mind slipping. That's the difference between a near miss and a safe arrival. The fast fix for focus loss is in your pocket. Diet, not your cup. Number 1. Electrolyte sources are the single most overlooked safeguard for long-haul riders. Dehydration creeps in quietly, not just draining your muscles, but dulling your mind. One missed sign, one slow reaction, and suddenly you're in trouble at highway speed. The numbers are stark. Endurance studies show riders can lose 700 to 900 milligrams of sodium for every liter of sweat, and water alone can't replace what's lost. That's how brain fog and muscle cramps start, even when you're sipping regularly. Powder packets and effervescent tablets solve this with almost no weight penalty. Each serving weighs less than 10 grams and slips into any pocket. The science is clear. Sodium and a small dose of glucose, around 6 to 8%, maximize absorption and keep your blood chemistry in balance. Potassium matters too, but too much can be risky, especially for anyone with kidney issues or on certain medications. The field protocol is strict. Preload with a full bottle of electrolyte mix 60 to 90 minutes before you ride, then microdose at every stop. Don't wait for thirst. Watch your urine color. Pale straw is good. Dark means you're behind. Ignore these signs and you risk hyponatremia, water intoxication from overhydration without salts, a mistake that has ended more than a few iron butt attempts. Shelf-stable packets or tablets resist heat, humidity, and rough handling, making them the most reliable insurance you can pack. The difference isn't just comfort, it's the margin between a strong finish and a roadside collapse. For the smart rider, electrolytes aren't just for desert runs or heat waves. They're the first line of defense, every single day on the road. From the rarely used remote communication devices that save lives in blackout zones, to the humble electrolyte packets that quietly prevent the most common medical emergencies, these 12 essential items redefine what it means to pack smart for a long-haul trip. Across every entry, one pattern stands out. The best riders prepare not for the road, but for the failures of body, gear, and circumstance that the road guarantees. It's not the big-ticket gear, but small, strategic choices like instant visibility fixes, emergency cash buffers, and maintenance tools that separate a disaster from a legendary ride. Surprisingly, some of the most critical items, like technical fabric cleaners and anti-vibration layers, are lightweight and inexpensive, yet prevent the trip-ending problems that rookies overlook. This list proves that true resilience comes from discipline, not luck. The difference between a miserable failure and an epic journey isn't the bike you ride, but the wisdom in your packing list. Drop your can't leave home without it item in the comments and ride smart, because preparation is the real secret weapon on every road.